Hello and welcome to my awesome health journey. This is my fourth year at Renton Highlands Orange Theory. To be honest, I did not think I would be making this video, mostly because I wasn't that excited to make it. But once I started doing it, I started to feel more excited doing it because this yearly video actually does keep me going and gets me excited to see where I've been. I think it's a really good to have a reflection on my working out. And that this, I make all these videos really to help me going and looking back at what I've accomplished in this year and last 4 years is a good thing. This is me from the beginning. April 22nd, 2022. I think of this moment a lot in my life as I was at my wits' end when it came to working out, especially. In January of 2022, I threw out my back. I did that while I was in the kitchen, reaching backwards to pick something up. And the thing about this back hit was different than before. I've been having back pain since about college. I think the first time was I was running and I stepped in a puddle and I threw out my back for the very first time. And every once in a while, I would hurt my back, and about a week or two at most, but generally less than a week, my back would bounce back and I'd feel fine. This one lasted for months. I actually wondered to myself that, you know, if I just like I had knee problems pre-COVID and COVID fixed my knees, and I was wondering like, am I gonna have back pain the rest of my life? And once around March started happening and my back started feeling better, I thought, you know what? I need to do Orange Theory. And I've told the story, it was Terry Verdell, my ex-boss, who went to Orange Theory, and he would rave about it nonstop and suggest everyone doing it. And I thought, fine, I'll give Orange Theory a chance. Doing everything on my own isn't working. I've been working on my intuitive eating, and that hasn't gotten me anywhere in links in terms of weight loss. And plus, at this point in time of my life, I was getting winded going to my car. Like going into my car, plugging in my seatbelt got me winded. When I went grocery shopping, I would always get a cart because I used that as a walker. I was in very bad shape. Like going to a place, I'd be worried about parking more than a block away because I didn't want to get there huffing and puffing and sweating because I was so fat and out of shape. And since this time, I have done now 680 plus workouts. I believe it's 684. So the basics of Orange Theory is basically they base this on this idea where if you hit a certain part of your heart rate for like 10 minutes, the quote unquote orange zone, that increases calorie loss throughout the day. It's a heart-based workout. We wear heart rate monitors. I was gonna pick mine up, but I guess I don't have it on my table right now. And the heart rate monitors, you can see your heart rate as you work out. And the basics is you do a treadmill, there's a rower, I use the Strider still, and there's strength training floor. One fun part that I like about Orange Theory is I don't have to think. When I used to go to the gym back in the day, just deciding what machines to use, how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to do exactly, always made me wonder if I was like uh, doing my best. Plus, being kind of ADHD and ADHD really is I don't like making decisions, and just going somewhere and them telling me what to do is just one less decision I have to make in my life, one less stressor, and I appreciate that part of Orange Theory. So pretty much just the basics of Orange Theory. It's getting on the tread, which is good for cardio. You get some good resistance training on the floor, doing floor exercises. They do have some weights, and there's also the Strider, which sometimes, and the rower, which you row, and then sometimes you do exercises. And based on, there's different type of classes. There's two group classes where you generally do um, the treadmill and the floor, and sometimes you mix in rower in between. And there's three group classes that do about 14 minutes on each station. And then they also have like tread 50 and floor 50, strength 50, and a couple other classes that I haven't taken. And they also have Hydrox classes now that I haven't taken. I just do the 2Gs and 3Gs. I like the 2Gs more because I feel like a good workout. Every Saturday I do a 3G, which I also enjoy because it feels like a smaller workout, mostly because it's honestly not that I don't go hardest on the Strider, but I do put the resistance up really high, and I feel that's really good for my leg strength. Oh, my first year of Orange Theory. Oh, jeez. Yeah, back playing. I was lonely. That was another reason why I joined. Uh, I started working from home, and there's just kind of like basic interaction. And going to a place, it's like Cheers. Everyone was really happy to see me, and I really appreciate that. I mean, as I was talking about the previous slide, the reason why I enjoyed going my first year and kept on going is the staff was very welcoming. That's helped a lot. I don't need a plan, not having to think, and not being judged. And I do remember I was in pain for the first like 3 months. Actually, I thought of it in 4 month increments. First 4 months was pain, just pure pain. I was hurt all the time, sore all the time. And then the next 4 months, I start feeling better and starting to progress, and then I finally felt good. I mean, when I first started Orange Theory, my first month I averaged like 1.2 miles per hour on the tread, and that was as hard as I can go. I remember being happy when I got up to 1.5. I was 474 pounds. I was so big. I mean, look at me down there, so big, and yeah, whew, that was honestly the first year of Orange Theory was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Period. I have never had to work hard. Wrestling was way easier than that. Football was way easier than that. Anything I've ever done in my life was so much easier than being 474 pounds and working out. People like say working out is hard and choosing being fat's hard or choose your hard. And I'll be honest, being fat, staying at home was so much easier than getting my fat ass up, getting in the damn car, going all the way to Orange Theory and working out, and then getting my ass home and being in pain all the time. That was freaking hard. My second year. My second year is when things started to feel good. I remember my second year, that's when I stopped feeling pain by the time I got home. Um, I would be able to drive home and feel fine after workout. Like my body felt recovered. My weight loss really started to go into gear. My first year, I only lost like 20 pounds. This year, I lost 30 pounds. So at this point, I was down around 50 pounds overall, which was like 420 pounds, which is still a lot. But losing 50 pounds still felt good. And I was getting into my body. I was starting to feel my body more and starting to feel more confident and honestly started enjoying life better. My second year at Orange Theory was so much better than my first. I mean, look at those lessons. Making workouts non-negotiable really helped, and I really took that to uh, like my first year was mostly desperation not to die. And once I started feeling better, my second year was like, this is what I'm just have to do for the rest of my life. Movement is important. I just, my first 40 years, I just didn't think about it. I also learned how to really celebrate myself and really, yeah, I had a really great, this was probably my best year for growing, from going from like really feeling bad to feeling pretty decent. This was my best year for that for sure. Oh man, year three. This was an interesting year, of course. The changes in my body were feeling great. This year I lost 40 pounds, so like 20, 30. So this I was down 90. This was where I got under 400 pounds, which felt great. Um, my sister, you can see her in that photo above me at 400. She joined a couple of my workouts, which was really special. Um, and yeah, that was pretty awesome. My body felt a lot better. Being under 400 pounds felt immaculate. I think it was also the year I got below 60s in my waist, maybe, or maybe that was the previous year. But being able to do that, but man, seeing that 300 pounds just felt amazing this year. Um, Also, this is the year my ankle started hurting. I started wearing a brace for like a year. Honestly, I just got that off a couple months ago. We'll get into that. But this was me started getting more um, long-term injuries of overuse and learning how to slow down. But it was also the year I really started encouraging people. Some of my favorite people left. Not gonna lie. especially front desk clerk Veronica left, and she was like one of my biggest cheerleaders. With her leaving, I felt there's like a big gap in the amount of people cheering me being there, and I made a decision this year, year three, to really start encouraging other people, so people will start encouraging me to help fill in that void. I also believe the idea of like if you want something, you should give it out, especially if it's something like that, like positivity. And I like being positive. I like encouraging people. It's fun. And I really wanted to break out of my shell more and really feel more into that part of myself. I do like it. It does make me feel good to make other people feel good. And it's fun. And it increases my enjoyment. And I really embrace that, or started to embrace that this year. And also, my progress started to slow down. Like my second year, I was so good, so fast, and this not so good. I mean, like my acceleration was great. This year really started to slow down, and I really had to like do a lot of mental exercises of getting excited to go. And we'll get into year four to see how that went. But it was another good year for growth, and I started feeling a lot better in my body. And now we'll get to year four. Year four. Yeah, year four. Year four was even more frustrating in a lot of parts than year three, especially when it came to long term um, injuries of using my body more. So I was dealing with my ankle for most of year four. I wore an ankle brace practically until a couple months ago. And then around September, my right hamstring started hurting. Actually, that's not true. My right hamstring started hurting in June, but didn't become an issue until September. I should have done something. Year four, I made a mistake. My biggest mistake was I was planning on letting go of the bar when I was walking on the tread when I reached 3 miles per hour on the tread. But I didn't. Once I hit average 3 miles per hour on the tread, I just got excited and wanted to do more and do more and do more. And I think that just put undue pressure on my legs, especially my right leg, and just caused some injuries that I have been dealing with for a while. And it's been frustrating. I'm used to being young, and you know, but that just hasn't happened. So yeah, so it's been a lot of really focusing on what is important. But we'll go into that in more depth later in the video. So these are my goals I made for year four. Do a 5K. At this point, doing a 5K feels like a joke goal because that's been my goal since my first year, and every year I don't do it. Um, yeah, I didn't do a 5K, but I was able to walk. I've walked a 5K since then, just walk. So that's fun. Um, my goal last year was to average 3.5 on the treadmill. I gave myself a yes and a heart. I don't know why I gave myself a heart. I never averaged 3.5 miles. I've walked 3.5 miles for like 24 minutes, but I never averaged that. So when I was doing this a couple days ago, I misunderstood my own goal. I did not do that. I did not. Do floor exercises. Yes, this year I started going on the floor more. A lot more. For unless my right knee or right hamstring were really bothering me, I started doing floor. In fact, I pretty much, unless I have a specific reason, I'm gonna go to the floor. I did not start the rower. I made a weight loss goal, and I didn't hit that goal. But look at myself. This is when I first started. I guess at the point that way. That's me a couple days ago. Look at my face. Look at my teeth. That's what Invisalign does. But my shoulders look so much better. I freaking love my shoulders. I went from like looking like a block to having like an actual outline. I do have a little flappy on my arm, but yeah, I've lost 40 pounds. Um, yeah, 20, 30, 40 pounds during this, right? No, this is 50. This is 50 pounds. So about last year, I was around 380, 390, and now I'm around 330, 340. So my weight loss has accelerated, which was cool. But you can really see it in my face and my awesome beard. I also started taking care of my beard more. Even though it looks like I have a lot more hair loss. I think it's just when my hair gets this long, it looks like I'm losing it more. I don't know. But whatever. Man, this is also after workout. That's why my hair is not as fluffy. I've actually been working a lot harder on keeping putting stuff in my hair and making it look nicer. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. So, but I did average 15 workouts a month. In fact, I averaged 19 workouts. I smashed this out of the park. I went from the year before being happy that I hit 5 workouts in a week to doing mostly 5-week workouts unless I 5 workouts in a week without even worrying about it, which is really freaking cool in my opinion. I'm very happy with that aspect of my working out. All right, this is my progress report. As many people know, if you watch these, I like putting my data, and as I forgot, I do have a PowerPoint. You can see my total distance, and then around, this is where I hurt myself in year 3, and this is where I start, like you can see here, this dip right here is where my hamstring started to bother me. You can really see it on my average elevation. I really had to quit elevation. Elevation really aggravates my hamstring. So my elevation just shot down around August, September. You can see that. So everything was going pretty good overall, and then bam. But I'm at 313, 3.13, which is about December of last year. So my kind of not pushing myself the hardest is good. Plus, I let go of the bar. During this time of being hurt, I decided I'm going to work on being comfortable walking on a treadmill without holding on. And I wish I did that earlier, but that's been a big step for me. So it's almost like a reset overall. So that's how I'm kind of looking at it, as a reset. But, I like to see improvement. I think that's always good. And here it is, 4 years of getting healthy. Oh man, I forgot to put the date. So this is 3/2026. No, this is 2. Why am I doing this way? This is 2/2026. But yeah, you can really see my improvement. I mean, look at my shoulders here, and look at my shoulders here, and you can kind of see it here. Like the difference in my body is just outstanding. And just the way I feel overall is so much better. It's hard to put into words how much better I feel overall, especially compared to this guy. Even this guy. This, this is like 20 pounds different. This is about 20 pounds. In fact, I feel like I look bigger in this one than this one, which I always found weird because you're like 6 months apart too. And now I'm doing like 200 classes in like a year, which is amazing. Just how better I feel, and I think my smile looks better. I think everything looks better. I feel better. I just feel so much better. It's just, I mean, just looking at that, just looking at those changes is great. I'm very proud of the work I've accomplished in getting healthier. I mean, it's not just about weight loss and losing fat off my body. In fact, my muscle to fat weight loss ratio is like 85% fat loss for 15 pounds of lean muscle mass, which is really good. You can see that I've done a good job of keeping my muscle mass. And yeah, so this is my 4 years of Orange Theory by looking, and I'm very proud of this. So these are my accomplishments in my 4th year. I mentioned the 85 to 15% muscle to fat loss ratio. My weight loss doctor was really happy about that. I even put that into Copilot to ask how I'm doing, and it's like said that was elite. I know AI butters you up a little bit, but it was nice to hear. Oh, I had multiple normal blood pressure readings. That's crazy. I've never had a normal blood pressure. Even when I was in high school and working out like football, they always told me my blood pressure was high. I've never had a normal blood pressure reading, and I had those normal. Getting under 350 pounds, that was great. Man, I felt so proud and happy of myself when I saw 347 and 341. I can't wait to see 330 something. I'm not weighing myself again until May when I hit 700 workouts, but I'm hoping it's 330 something. That would make me feel so good. But being under 350, I can feel it. I mean, I bought this shirt over the summer because my other shirt like this was getting too big, and this one's now getting too big as well. Also hopped. Oh man, hopping. Uh, Josh got crazy when he saw me do that. I was stoked. I could not believe I hopped and I jumped on a step. Whew, that's a lot of weight, and that's not something I could even do. And letting go of the bar during the tread. I think these are all really good accomplishments. These are things I'm all very proud of, and I'm very happy that I was able to do. It's hard to say once again how much better I feel in my body now. I didn't realize how normal 350 was for me and my muscle type. I still, when I walk downstairs, grab the rail just by like habit because I've been doing it for about off and on at least 5 years for straight, but the last 4 years is something I've had to do, and now I'm able to go downstairs normal. Going upstairs normal happened last year, but yeah, these are accomplishments I'm very proud of. I'm happy. I know people are like, you should be proud. I am proud. This has been the hardest thing I've ever done. Consistently going. There's so many times I've thought of stopping almost every day. I have to make it so I can't not go. I can't give myself a choice. If I make a choice, I'm not gonna go. I don't want to. I have to find every motivation, everything, doing these videos, having people be happy to see me, putting in my statistics and looking at them and seeing improvement, which I had to let go of in the 4th year because I didn't have as much as I wanted to, especially starting September. Um, and just there's a lot of mental issues with working out and continuing to do this and being consistent. That's hard for me. It's hard for my brain to be consistent. I've never been consistent. Even when I was in shape in high school, I always took months off being lazy because it's just easier for me. It's easier for me to do nothing than it is to do something. So this is something I'm proud of, and I'm really happy with my accomplishments this year. Man, these videos are getting longer and longer. Okay, here are my total distance, which I think is pretty fun. I like putting this in because it shows how far I've come. The first year averaging what 0.34 to 2.66 to 1.8. Just that's how many miles I'd walk in an entire month. And now I'm at a couple months where I did over a marathon. 26. Even with my with herding, I'm at 21 last month, and that would be compared to last year. That's my third highest. So me, like with my hamstring hurting and 20 and 21 are some of my best months, and compared to last year when I was relatively fine, other than when I hurt my ankle, and that worst year of my life. I was hurt all of December. But yeah, but seeing like I went from walking 43 miles, 112 to 290 to 266 miles in a year. That's just great. Yeah, just look at those numbers. I walked almost just just under 50 more miles this year on the tread than last year. I think that's pretty cool. And also elevation. Uh, the difference between elevation, I mean, look at that first year. That's 88,000 miles, 8,000 feet in the air, and then to go all the way up to 24, and then to almost double it, and then to add even more, even with all that hurt, that dip right here, because it hurt because I'm walking more, as also I'm doing more workouts. So yeah, that's like 56,000 feet of elevation. I think that's neat. I love statistics. It just makes me feel good looking at them. And just seeing that, I don't know if next year is going to be higher, but at this point, I'm really happy with what I've done. I mean, look at that improvement. What I started to where I am now. Can I imagine being able to do what, almost 6 times, more than 5 times as much elevation while doing more and going faster? I don't know. I like looking at this stuff. I'm not gonna lie, this one is harder for me to look at. This is one of my favorite ones that I've generally liked over the years, looking at my real speed, especially look at year two, I went up about 1.73 to 2.63, especially with that December where I couldn't do anything. I really thought I can get 2.75, which I believe was my goal, was to get a full one, and year two was great. And things started to slow down in year three. This is where I hurt my ankle, but things were still chugging along. And then things started to really explode. September, I got to 3.29, which made me feel so good. And that's when my hamstring got out. I really think I was holding combination of my started working on my gait this year around June, because when you're walking in fat, you kind of waddle side to side, and so I want to learn how to walk more with my hips. And I started to integrate my hips more, and I believe doing that with also holding onto the handrail, also with not having my ankle braced. So doing all those things while just moving too fast for the strength that's actually in my body caused some overuse injuries. It probably started last year with my ankle holding on and going a little bit faster than I should, but things just really got to a head. I started personal training last week, so really hope that starts helping. But my hamstring's starting to get a little better. I still can't push myself as hard as I'd like to, but you know, you know. This is one I am proud of. Look at that. I did 38 more workouts this year than last year. That's amazing, I think. Last year I was going to do 190. I was really happy with that. Heck, doing 149 in year two, I was happy with. So, yeah, I don't think I'm year five, year five, I don't think I'm going to do more than 228. I might get up to 230, maybe 235 at most. But yeah, I think about 220, I think, is always going to be my goal as long as I do Orange Theory. Yeah, so I like keeping this. It shows that I've reached a good enough amount of workouts, and I'm very proud to being able to do this. Um, the difference between year and 1-3, I like numbers. I like numbers. So let's go on the lessons. Yep, this is a year of great successes and great disappointments. And you're going to see why they're disappointments when you look at the lessons. I don't know why Copilot can't keep the colors the same. Keep on suggesting. So this is the same slide as last year. This is actually the same picture. I decided not to change it because some movement is better than no movement. I can't believe I had to learn this again. I felt like I'm the Flash of never learning. That was the interesting part of looking at slideshow 3 to make slideshow 4. And it's the same thing. I hurt myself a lot and continue to move, and I really had to keep on pushing forward, changing my mentality of why I'm working out, and really emphasizing that. I just had to learn that lesson again this year. I'm older. I can't push myself as hard, but I still have to walk. But one benefit is letting go of the treadmill and walking at about 2.7 miles an hour did get to the point where I realized my ankle was finally able to heal, which shows me I should have done that like a while ago, of just walking slower and letting go. That's what really convinced me that I messed up. I probably should have took personal training. Maybe took like 2 weeks of Orange Theory or 3 Orange Theory workouts and 2 personal training workouts or something. I should have done a lot of things, but hindsight is 2020, and yeah. Again, focusing on working out first and goal second. I got too into that goal. I got too into looking at 2.9, 3.29, looking at 3.5 being a possibility, and realizing that yes, goals are important. Yes, improvement is important. But the most important thing is that I'm working out. The most important thing is that I'm keeping healthy. The most important thing is I'm not hurting myself. That's the most important thing, is that I'm moving 3 times a week. I need to take care of myself better, and I need to focus on taking care of myself better, and always focus on taking care of myself. Yes, goals are important to keep me going, but if I hurt myself, I can't keep going. It's that simple. But celebrating other people has been a rousing success. One thing that happened even more this year is people actually started introducing themselves to me and being my gym buddy. More and more people you know, tell me good job. One person even said like you don't know. So one person said you didn't. What was it? I needed to hear that, or you don't know how much I needed to hear that. It just helps. It helps me keep on going, and it helps one person to show up. I know it bothers some people probably, but I can't worry about that. As long as I don't keep on, pushing it onto people. That's my birthday over there. That's Christy. Stupid reversing. That's Christy. She's been working out there since I started. She's been on the bike a lot of times when I'm on the Strider, and she's always super positive. And I took this picture for our during the transformation challenge to help celebrate. One of the people I enjoy working out with, Christy. A lot of other people, Mika. I haven't seen Tammy as much this year, but Tammy, Maddie, Nancy, Silka, Mary. And so many Pooja, so many more people. Not Harmeet. Yeah, John. Uh, just so many people that like I just see every time I go there, and I'm happy to see Allison, who I just met 2 weeks ago. Just great smile, just full of sunshine, and just it really helps me going, and yeah, it makes my day every time I go there, and that really helps. It really helps. So really celebrating other people, I think, is important, because it just makes, at least for me, it makes me want to go there more and makes me enjoy my workouts more. And yeah, so that has been, this is a relearning lesson that I actually enjoy relearning. And of course, celebrating my true accomplishments. Celebrating things that are most important. For instance, this is a video of me jumping. That's just, look at that. Getting little hops on that. You can look at that. That's on, I think I put on my TikTok and my Instagram. Just, man, I'm so proud of that. This is my steering wheel. I took this picture last week. My stomach used to rub against that. In fact, I can feel the bottom of my steering wheel where it's kind of a little bit rubbed off because it just rubbed on my stomach for a while. And look at all that space between my stomach and my steering wheel. And look at those shoulders. This was in January. I was just looking at myself and so proud of those shoulders. Just look, yeah. I mean, I covered up my man boobs and my big ass belly, but I love the way I look from here up. I'm very proud of that. In fact, I feel like I look a little smaller since then. I think I'm like 10, 15 pounds smaller since then. But yeah, I'm planning on taking a little bit more topless photos of me and looking at my sexy, sexy shoulders. But, celebrating the true accomplishments rather than getting so focused on the numbers that I am into, but also how I feel and how I move. And even if I can't move my best and push myself, increase my numbers, if I keep on going, these changes are going to happen. I'm starting to be able to do more with my body. I'll let go of more weight off my body and hopefully get a little bit more, yoked. Built different. And I started yoga. Yoga has been extremely helpful. It's been working a lot. My shoulder mobility is better. My hips are a lot better. My stabilizer muscles are better. My hip flexors are better. My flexibility overall is better. Look at me in yoga pants. Eat, 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 eat. There we go. I'm very happy with my yoga journey. This is an earlier workout. This is when I first bought it, yoga pants, and stopped going in just shorts. But yeah, I'm really happy I started yoga. That's been super cool. Obviously, I want to keep going. That's my hope. Knock on wood that I get to keep being employed and have enough money to go to Orange Theory. It is not cheap. It's a decent amount of money out of my paycheck each month, especially since I can work out at home, but I don't. Even heck, I have a gym at my apartment complex, but I can't work out at home mentally. So hopefully I can continue to go there, and yeah, I'm looking forward to hitting 750 because we get a sticker here. They made a 500 sticker, look at that, and I want the 750 sticker because I love getting stickers. Here are my year 4 goals. I should say 5 goals. I don't know why it says 4. I'm not going to edit it. Those are mistakes, and mistakes deserve to be seen. Plus, Copilot just can't keep the colors the same. So, I'm probably not going to do a 5K, but I'm going to say I'm going to do one. It's mostly the things surrounding a 5K, like starting and paying and going. But I can walk for that long. I'm going to start the rower probably next month or the month after. That might even help my hamstring. My goal is to heal my hamstring and work on my gait. I want to get to a base 3.5 the way I do Orange Theory. I have a base and then an average. My base right now is 3.2 miles an hour, and I think I can get it up to 3.5 by the end. And I want to continue average 19 workouts a month. I think that's a good goal. Hey, if you made it this far, you rock, and I appreciate you and your support of me. I say that in all my videos that I appreciate you for who you are, because I do. Being able to have people cheer me on and watch my story and talk to me about it and just being a part of it does help. And one reason why I make these videos is I know every once in a while someone will tell me my video inspired them to do something. And I think that's cool that I'm able to do that. That my little story is able to help someone else. Especially since, again, this has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. This is so freaking hard to be where I was to where I am now. And I would like, knock on wood, I hope I'm able to continue. Hope be able to get to see under 300. I hope I get to hit my goal weight of 230 something. Yeah, 230 something. My goal is to be morbidly obese. Take that, BMI, you piece of crap system. Um, this has been a journey. 4 years at Orange Theory. Just imagining from where I started to where I am now is just, I mean, I was planning on actually thinking this was going to be my last video, and just doing this video has just really helped me see where I've come from and where I'm going. And just every once in a while, it's good to look at your life and reflect. And when you don't think you're doing that much better, to look at all the things you did do and what you accomplished, what you learned. And I think that's important. And that's helped me. So definitely gonna do one next year, hopefully. Definitely if I am still at Orange Theory and able to work out, I will do it. That might be my last one. I don't know, but I'll worry about that in 2027. But yeah, I mean, this has just been awesome. So once again, as I say in all my videos, I appreciate you for who you are, because I do, truly do. I thank you all for supporting me, and I truly believe that you are worthy. And I think I've heard that in a story once, where people, like, a lot of problems in our lives would be solved if we just recognize that we are worthy. And that's why I want to say it at every end of one of my videos, because I truly believe you are worthy. Moving is important, and you're worth moving your body. If you don't use it, you lose it. And I truly believe that. I mean, that's what it shows. Not using my hips or sitting down has made my hips awful. But just working out, I've seen the strength come back in my body, and I'm really happy for that. And so just whatever you need to do to move, figure that out. Because just our world, from driving to sitting in most of our jobs, just create this world of just not moving our bodies as much as we need to. Our bodies are meant to move. That's how we keep healthy. And you're really not supposed to really start degrading until you're like 70 something. Up until that, you're supposed to be still relatively kind of healthy. So move your freaking body, please, because you're worthy of it. And thank you so much for watching, and I do love you.